Now we have Riri on the backstage here with us in session, and we have Mike the Man who is playing the music. Yeah, so all those who are on the live right now, we just welcome you, and we hope that you are open to sharing your experiences with us, and maybe sharing if it is COVID-19 affected your emotional wellness, if it affected you in whatever way it did, you can feel free to share with us. Yeah. Yeah. So I hope everyone is enjoying the music, the little groovy. We talked about that last time. Yeah. And what you cooking. So for those of you who don't know, on a Saturday we have what you cooking. That starts between 11:30. Today we go on a bit later. Yeah, it's just a little nice session, having fun, right? And then of course this afternoon we are getting down into serious business, and we want to make sure that everyone is well, everyone is coping, because now is a very, very, very hard time. Yeah, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but the world. And that's why we are going to have the discussion on emotional wellness today, because our emotional wellness is just as important as our physical wellness. Yes, so Mike.
Yeah, I want to say good afternoon to you. Good evening. How are you going? How are you going today? How was your day so far?
Saturday is a very busy day.
Yeah, you went to...
The weekend is always a busy weekend.
You went to the market?
No, I did that during the week. I don't wait for the weekend to do things. Time management. We need to know when we're going to the grocery.
Yeah.
When we seasoning up the meat.
Yeah.
When we, the preparation. Preparation is always important.
Nice one. But how was your week so far? I understand that school has closed now?
Yes, school is closed. So now the students and teachers are on vacation.
Right.
And as we say vacation, we at Basic Unconventional Raw Nutrition will be having a youth soca party starting next Friday, which is Friday the 6th. Am I saying it right? I feel like I'm saying it wrong. The 9th. Yes.
You drink too much today, or?
I did not drink too much of anything. Yes, so the 9th of July, I'm going for 6 Fridays.
Wow.
So all the parents who don't have anything planned for their young adults, their teenager,
right.
Those who, even 20 years as well.
Yeah.
If there's something, Burn is offering youth soca party, where it is your child can have fun, get fit, and feel fantastic.
Right.
Yes, and it will be me doing the session, so everything will be definitely child-friendly, youth-friendly. Yes, so, and it's only $120 for all 6 sessions.
Nice.
So it's starting at 10 and ending at 12 noon.
Nice one. So were you saying that do you think that that's enough time for the young people to enjoy themselves?
Yes, I mean, 2 hours, the amount of things can happen in 2 hours, man.
Yeah.
You will be amazed.
Really? As young people we talking about, eh?
Yes, but over the vacation, know that some of them will get up later.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Right, so the 2 hours, but if it is asking for more, then we could arrange for that. But as of now, it is 10 a.m. to 12 noon on a Friday.
Right.
Youth soca party.
Right. So you haven't any special guests at all?
So we have Verena and Rihanna on the inside. And we may have a surprise.
All right. Wait a
When
minute.
if the
Nice.
surprise is here, we will let you know. But we may
Super
have a
Blue.
little
Super Blue is in the
surprise.
house all here. Super Blue in the house.
Well, if only that was true.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so I think that we are ready to get into it.
Yeah, man. Yes, we are. We are.
Yeah, so
let's say good
welcome
afternoon.
to everyone
yeah.
on the live.
Say good evening to everybody
Yeah,
who locked in.
but before we start, we will go to a little break. You know, play a little music, and we will get right into it when we come back.
Nice one. Nice one.
So girl, you know I have to lock you down. Whoa, one thing on my mind, my girl, show off, show off. Now everybody have to give me room, cause when you wind up with me in the mood, so rude, so rude. Girl,
Beat Spanish.
Hey, folks, all of you guys in outside in listening land. This is me, Mike the Man, and we want to bring some interesting news for you. We want to welcome an addition to Radio Irie. Her name is Jamaica James, our social worker, who is going to be on board with Radio Irie. We are going to be starting a new series soon. It's called The Effects of COVID on the Family, the Blueprint. So look out for that. This is me, Mike the Man, saying, welcome, Shamika Jamesy.
I only wanna dance with you. I only wanna dance with you.
Right, people. So it's all
I only wanna dance with you.
yeah. We're gonna get into it shortly. Yes, people. So Mike, you can load on the music a little bit more and let us get into this discussion on emotional wellness. So the question is, what is emotional wellness? So we have Verena and we have Rihanna on the live, right? So before I say what it is, I would like to ask Verena, what does emotional wellness mean to her? And then we will go to Rihanna and she will tell us what emotional wellness means to her as well.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Everyone on the live,
Good
all those logging on
afternoon.
Radio Irie. So, to me, emotional wellness is all about handling your emotions, then having control over your emotions and being able to channel all your different energies and be able to have control over your emotions then, you know, just having control over your emotions and not letting certain emotions take over, you know. So we want to have a balanced
Right,
emotion.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So Jazan,
Yeah.
what does emotional wellness mean to you?
I think emotional wellness to me is, as Verena said, it's a balance. You have to balance your emotion.
All right.
Oh,
So we
right.
will move along there, right?
Yeah.
So thank you, Verena. All right. Nice. So, emotional wellness is the awareness, understanding, and acceptance of your emotions, right? And it is also your ability to manage those emotions effectively. So, Verena, she just said that it is about, controlling your emotions as well. So yes, when it is we experience life challenges and changes in life, we should be able to manage what we normally will call stress Because when there's environmental changes, when challenges arises, we may go through stress. And we have to be aware. Awareness is very important. We need to know when it is we are stressed out, when it is we are maybe even getting angry, when it is we are feeling worried. Be aware of how it is we are feeling, right? And then we have to be able to understand why it is we are feeling the way that we are feeling, right? Because understanding the way that we are feeling is very important to move on to the next stage of acceptance. Because if it is we are not aware and if it is we do not understand, we will not be able to accept. So we need to accept the way that we feel. We need to accept what it is we are going through, right? So this time we know it is COVID-19 and we are, going into how COVID-19 is affecting each and every person of the family, right? And when it is we recognize the stresses that people are going through at this time, young, old, middle-aged, everyone is going through some level of stress. And that's why it is important to keep our emotional wellness in check. Yeah. So, emotional wellness will include our thoughts. And ability to deal with life challenges and life changes. So that's why we're talking about emotional wellness today and how it is we can know if it is we are actually emotionally well. So for everyone that's coming on the live right now, the topic for today is emotional wellness, right? Verena Waden, Jizan Waden, and what do you think emotional wellness is? And it was quite correct, everyone. It may not be the exact same words we use, but it's the same thing. We must be able to be aware. We must be able to understand and accept. And then, in all of that, we must be able to manage efficiently and effectively the emotions that we are feeling when going through life challenges and changes. So we go to a little break. Might play some music. Let's keep it nice and light. And when we come back, we're going to talk about why emotional wellness is important to each and every one of us.
I'm watching you walk like a night shift, girl. I must get a touch of the fight it. Like you body, nicest. Your bumper cock up when I like it. I'm watching you walk like a night shift, girl. I must get a touch of the fight it. Just move, no girl. I want you to put it on me, baby, put it on me. Mood, no girl. I want you to walk it, baby, walk it on me. Come here and walk it on me. I go walk it all night, baby, set the right speed. I go put it on right. Come and walk it on me. I go walk it all night, baby, set the right speed. I go put it on right. Girl, you're playing the mass. I wanna get to this thing real fast.
You're locked on to Radio RNTT, the family and international online radio station.
You know exactly what I mean. So baby, don't waste time. You want it to, so give it to me. I tell you, I wanna take a wine on your bumper. I wanna spend a little time on your bumper, girl. And when you wine in your bumper, is it a crime if I wine up on you? I wanna take a wine on your bumper. I wanna spend a little time on your bumper, girl. And when you wine in your bumper, is it a crime if I wine up on you, girl? Ooh, ooh, ooh. I wanna take a wine up on you. Ooh, 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 ooh. I wanna take a wine up on you, girl. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I wanna wine up on you.
The Soca Savage. The Soca Savage.
You know I like it when you wine on me body and rock it up, girl. Wine on me body and rock it up.
And the topic for today is emotional wellness. Yes? And just now we'll be talking about the importance of emotional wellness. So a lot of times people don't think about their emotional wellness. They may look at it just physical, but remember that both goes hand in hand. And if it is you're not emotionally well, it can affect your ability to do some things that are physical in nature. So emotional wellness is very, very important. Yeah? Mm-hmm. So,
Yes.
those of you who are now joining us, it's emotional wellness this afternoon. So why is it that emotional wellness is so important? Verena, why do you think emotional wellness is important?
Well, for me, I think it's important to ensure that you have good mental health. You know, if your emotions are all over the place and you can't deal with your emotions, then mentally you're not very healthy, right? And we need to have that balance so we can deal with other things. Because in life
Right,
you have a lot
right.
of things. We have good
Yeah,
emotions
that's true,
and we
that's
have bad
true.
emotions too.
And Suzanne,
Yeah, right, because I mean,
yeah,
your
yes.
emotion,
Suzanne, what about you?
yeah, I think emotion is very important because you have to treat everything aspect where you deal with, obviously. So you have an emotion in it. So it is quite important, I think. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, it's very, very important because with the emotions, it's like you don't know you're down, you're up. As you say, stress, you can get depressed. Because I've been, well, with the pandemic, I show my
yes,
emotion different. I was a bit depressed and being locked away as well. That that was a big impact on me because I couldn't go nowhere. I was in the house, and it was hard for me, to be honest, with the kids as well, and they show the emotion as well. So I think that's
yeah.
important, yeah, and how you deal with it as well. As I said, stress. So it's
Mm-hmm.
all it's all different scenarios in it with emotions in it.
Yeah. So yes, thank you, Suzanne, for sharing that experience. Nice and early. We got in the experiences. Yeah, and one thing, first thing, that is very important in terms of emotional wellness is that it helps us to be resilient to stress.
Yeah.
Because when it is we are going through a stressful situation, we must be able to manage it effectively. So if it is we are emotionally unwell, then we won't be able to handle the stress in an effective way. We won't be able to manage it. We won't know what to do. We're
Do
going to
yeah.
go into states of depression. So
Depression, that's
last
it.
week we spoke about depression, and the week before we spoke about stress,
Stress.
right? So if it is we are not emotionally well, we won't be able to handle the stress. And that is one reason that we need to be emotionally well,
Well,
right? And sometimes persons are stressed out and they may not be able to see the signs that they are actually stressed out, right? And that's where awareness comes in. That's where the
yeah.
understanding comes in, because you'll understand. Okay, once you're aware, realizing the signs, the different changes in your body, whether it's a sleeping pattern, a eating pattern, all the behavioral changes, and that's why the
Mhm.
awareness, and then you'll understand this is the situation, and I need to accept this, control it, and really deal with the situation. Yeah? And
Yeah.
the next other reason that emotional wellness is important is it helps us to have deeper relationships, whether it's with our partners, with our children, with people that we come in contact with. Because if it is we are emotionally unwell, we won't be able to have healthy conversations. We won't be able to deal with even, let us say, conflict resolutions. We won't be able to handle conflicts in a good way, right? Because when it says you are stressed out, what about whatever it is with COVID, you lost a job or your income has been reduced, and you're stressed and you're not even taking any time when you emotionally unwell. You don't even want to hear anything from your partner or your child. You don't want nobody
Yeah.
bothering you, as the saying goes, right?
True.
So when it is
True,
you're
yeah.
emotionally well, you'll be able to have that deeper relationship. The other thing is it improves self-esteem, right? Because there are other factors that affect our emotional wellness, such as body image. Yeah, and you might be thinking about what others think about you and what others are saying, right? But when it is you are emotionally well, you have this confidence in yourself. You feel well, you feel good, you feel fantastic. Yeah, and that's why emotionally you need to be well. And the next thing is, when it is you're emotionally well, you have high energy. So you want that to have high energy because you're thinking good about yourself, you're thinking positively, no matter what the situation is. So you want high energy. That's why emotional wellness is important, because it allows you to have, a more positive mindset. It allows you to live each day in a thankful spirit, right? And you will be more motivated. You're feeling good, you're feeling happy, you're feeling thankful, you feel like you could help others out there because you are emotionally well. What you would like to add to that? And that is the important. Those 4 things are important. So resilience to stress, right? To form deeper relationships, increasing your self-esteem, better self-esteem. And of course, high energy, positive energy. So Verena, what do you think about the positive energy aspect? All right, so we'll come back to Verena in a little bit. Yes, so let's go to a break.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, she had the thing I love. Where she from, I don't know. She wears and go low. Pick up the place like a dojo. So what you say, what you say, what you say? With the girl, when you come my way. What you do, what you do, what you do? I must get through. Girl, roll up your way, show me that wine. Turn around, girl, don't be shy. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, so girl, I love how the way you blow my mind. Hold me tight and bring down wine. Hello, 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 hello. Are you ready? Are you ready for it? Are you ready? Are you ready for it? Now give me that, don't hold back. Wind it up, ride it, front to the back, no long chat. Just come to me, I'll give you that sweet type of love, sweet type of love. Come give me that sweet type of love, real type of love. Hold me, darling.
Yes. So my take on emotional
wellness. What do you think
wellness
about the importance of emotional wellness, especially when it comes to being resilient to stress?
Okay, so I think it helps definitely to strengthen you and your response to certain situations. It helps to give you that level of maturity to handle the situation in a better manner than to just let your emotions take control of the entire situation. And well, my thought on emotional wellness and giving you that extra energy. When I feel better, I perform better. Right? When I feel better, I perform better. I'm ready and willing to go. I might have a whole project to do. I'll finish it out in a night because I'm feeling good. Right? But if I don't feel so well mentally, emotionally,
right.
then simple things will seem challenging. Just a matter of getting out of bed may be a challenge when you don't feel well emotionally. So that is my take. It really does give you that extra energy, and it really does help you to mature in terms of handling situations in a better manner rather than allowing your emotions to give you the answers. So you be in control of that when you have
Yeah.
emotional wellness.
Yeah, so allowing your emotions to take control of you, right? So a lot of times we may allow our emotions to take control of us, and then you do things that you may not normally do. You say things that you may not even normally say, or you wouldn't even think about saying. But under the pressure, under changes, under challenges, you say and do things out of the ordinary, things that are not normal, as the saying goes, right? So that is why our emotional wellness is very important. So you see Verena, when it says she's emotionally well, she says she cooks better. So it's not no angry food, worried food, or stressed out food you'll be eating. When it is she's happy and thankful, right? You know,
Yes,
normally
the
people
food
talk about the
tasty.
vexed food. You ain't going to get any vexed food. Because sometimes when it's stressed, it kind of leaves you to be a bit more angry. So things that wouldn't upset you before, when it is you're in a stressful situation, you get angry easily, you get agitated easily, right? So that's why emotional wellness is so important, right? And even
Yes.
communicating with others, right? So how do we know if it is we are emotionally well? So Verena, what you will say is
That's
a
a good
sign that you are
question.
actually emotionally well.
That is a good question. Well, currently I'm working on developing my emotional wellness to get it stronger. So, but I think a sign of being emotionally well is having a positive outlook on yourself. As you had mentioned before, sometimes your body image may affect your emotional wellness. Sometimes what other people think about you will affect that, right? And if you have a positive mind towards things, that maybe my body mightn't be how I want it to be now, but I'm going to work on it. I'm going to take that step to get to the point that I want to. Yes, that is how okay, my emotions are in check. When you're not snapping at people for the simplest of things, right? Um, for me, I'm genuinely a happy,
Yeah.
go lucky, get
Yeah.
it go positive person. So, and that really helps me in balancing
Yeah.
my emotions, It really helps me, the positive thought and the positive mindset.
Nice, nice. Nice. Right. And Josanne, what about you? How do
What's
you
that?
know if it is you are emotionally well? What is that sign?
If I'm
What are
emotionally
some of your
well,
behaviors to indicate
but
that you are currently emotionally well?
well, I'm jolly. I'm always happy. I'm outgoing, obviously. What else I can say when I'm genuine? And when I'm done, I'll snap at people, obviously, and you shout, and I'm terrible. I'm telling you, when I'm done, I scream. Even the kids say, "Mom, what's wrong with you?" But sometimes I have my odd days. My
Right.
hormones. When I was pregnant, my emotion was all over the place, obviously, because my hormones. I would, scream and things and get
Yeah.
emotional, easily because my hormone. But the kids didn't understand. I had to explain to them. I didn't mean to, but it's just because of my hormone, my body's going through a different stage. So it's not that I mean, but when I'm emotional, happy, I could be different, obviously. I'm laughing, smiling. So I'm happy, yes.
Yes,
But
yes,
when
yes.
I'm done, I'm done, yeah.
So, yes. Yeah. And when it is you're actually, the thing about it is sometimes you don't like to talk about how it is we are feeling, right? Sometimes something may have you either feeling stressed out, something may get you sad, something may get you worried, something may even get you angry. And when it is you are emotionally unwell, you don't speak about it. But when it is you are emotionally well, you'll be able to be aware. One, you're aware that it is you are not feeling yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
then you will decide, here's what, I need to speak to somebody about it. That's when you know that you are emotionally well, when it is you are aware, you understand, and you realize that you need to speak about it with someone. And speaking about how it is you are feeling is very important. Yeah, that's one.
Yes.
And another thing, some people, they believe that they shouldn't say no. when somebody
Yes,
asks
people.
you to do something, they say that you shouldn't say no.
No.
Now, that is something that indicates our emotional wellness. If our self-esteem is low, and we always have this mentality of pleasing others, that is not a good thing, right? That is part of our emotional wellness. So you should be able to say no without feeling guilty.
I'm like that,
I want you all to always remember that. So everyone on the live, remember that part of your emotional wellness, to know that you are emotionally well, is when it is you are able to say no without feeling guilty. You ever had a moment in time when, I don't know how to say no. I don't want to disappoint anybody. Verena, you ever feel like that? Your children when they say, mommy, and then you have to tell them no, but you need to tell them no without feeling guilty.
Yeah.
All this a good bit of time. I've been in that situation.
Time I've been in that situation. Mm-hmm.
Yes, so Mike.
Yeah, man.
How do you know that you are emotionally well?
Because I'm always happy.
You're always happy?
Yeah, I always smiling, I'm a very jovial type of guy, I try not to let. I'm listening to you guys, very interesting. I try not to get too. I'm emotional, but for certain things, Shamika, and I cry. Don't get tired. I cry.
Oh
right?
gosh.
Yeah,
You cry, Mike.
Verena,
You cry,
Verena
really?
laughing. Yeah, I cry. What do you think it
cry.
is? But I always try to be happy. Even if something hamburging me, I always try to be happy. I don't let it overcome me in a sense, because I think very interesting comments by you guys, Jizan and Verena. Very interesting. As I said, I cry. If you want to see me, Mike the man, emotional, look for tears. Look for tears. But those things only happen at particular times. Right? But I'm always jovial. I'm always making a joke, but when it comes to be serious, I'm serious. But I try to keep that kind of nature about me. Always laughing, making people laugh. And what I realized since we started doing all these lives, I always making some kind of joke. Because I think that helps. Yeah. That helps you personally. I mean, all of us are not the same. Jizan might be different. Verena will be different. You will be different. Shirley might be different. So we handle situations differently. So yeah, I'm always happy. Yeah. If I don't brush my teeth, I don't show my teeth. Yeah, sure.
Raise the music.
Just give me some room. When now I make your heart go boom.
So just remember, we are live on Radio Irie people this evening, all right? We're talking about emotional wellness with Shamika James, all right? Very interesting. So come and join us. Yeah, come and join us, all right?
Baby Pico. When I push it right back. I know you must like that. 'Cause I have the must come back. I will give you thunder. When your breast is bumper. I will give you thunder. When your breast is bumper.
You're too sweet when I wine on it.
We are talking about emotional wellness today. It is very, very important, that we are emotionally well, so that we will be able to handle life challenges. Yeah, it is very important. Be resilient to stress, have deeper relationships, have a higher self-esteem, even more energy to do our day-to-day activities, right? So, and sometimes, we really do take our emotional wellness for granted, right? But we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we are both physically and emotionally well, so that we can have, a healthier life. We can have more enjoyable lives. You see, when it is we are stressed out and we are not managing our stress well, we are not even managing whether it's our anger, any type of negative emotion that really affect our day-to-day life. And we don't want our day-to-day lives to be negatively affected. We don't want our emotions to take control of us. We don't want to, we don't want that. We don't want that. We want to be positive. We want to be happy. We want to feel healthy. We want to feel like we can, what some people say, take over the world. I don't know about that part. Some people like to say that, right? But we want to be emotionally well because it is important in every aspect of our life. So it's family life because we are talking about the effects of COVID-19 on the family people, and we know that COVID-19 has brought on a lot of stress due to loss of income, due to reduced salary, and everything is linked. There's a ripple effect because when it is you lose your salary or you have a reduced income, there are things that you aren't able to do. Right? You may not be able to pay some of your bills. You're wondering how it is you're going to keep a roof over your head. How it is, you're going to provide internet, basic amenities, food, water, right? We see now that WASA in Trinidad and Tobago, they're actually disconnecting persons who are in arrears, right? That is really, really hard, right? So the things like water and electricity, shelter, food, our basic needs, it's hard for a lot of persons to come by in this time. Right now it's online learning. Yeah. And it is very, very stressful for a lot of us. Now, another way to know if it is you are emotionally well, for those of you who are joining us, there are signs that will indicate that we are actually emotionally well. There are things that will tell us that we are not emotionally well. So another way that we'll know that we are emotionally well is if we are contented. We are not saying just stay stagnant, but if you feel contented, meaning that you are actually thankful for life, you are thankful for what it is you have. At that point, you'll be thankful for food, you're thankful for the roof over your head, you're thankful for internet. Some people still, what they have? They have Me Too. Y'all remember the Me Too?
Oh gosh, yes.
I have a Me Too phone, so they don't
I have a Me Too, yes.
Internet, or they can't use WhatsApp because they have these phones that are not connected to data. Yeah. So that's something, to be contented. And then you may be, once it is, you feel like you have a strong support network. If it is some people, their support system, what you call a circle. Some may say in a circle because those closest to you. Who is your support system? And sometimes when people don't have that support system, or they feel as if they don't have a support system, they are like really down. They are sad, they are depressed. They can't talk to anybody about how they are feeling. And that really takes a toll on your emotional health. So if it is a feeling like you have no support, that means that you are, even if it's one person, we ain't saying you need to have 10, 20, Sometimes it's just one person. That's just one person is your support, and they don't even feel like you have support from anyone around. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. And then being able to relax. If you cannot relax, something may happen, and they say, count from 1 to 10 and take deep breaths, and you realize you cannot take those deep breaths. That is a sign that you are emotionally unwell. They may be stressed out and they pacing and they fidgeting and they don't know what to do and they don't know how to handle it, and they just maybe want to bang your head on the wall.
What about sleeping in the nighttime?
Well, yes, sleeping in the nighttime, when it says you're unable to relax, you may not be able to sleep well, because when it says you're not relaxed and you're stressed and you're thinking about all different things, you're worried, sometimes even anger, just keeps people up in the night, right? That means that you are not emotionally well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I probably not emotionally well because I just struggle to sleep at night
No,
sometimes.
no. Well, okay, for some persons, they don't need much sleep. Yes, they say you should have 6 to 8 hours of sleep, but that's not everybody. Each person is different.
I normally get
Some
four.
people
I
don't
normally
need
get
to
4
sleep
hours.
all that sleep.
4 hours.
So is it that they have trouble sleeping, like they go to sleep and
Um,
they're restless?
No. What normally happens is let's say like when I finish the show late in the night, and I've found this happen. I think this is a change in my body over the years, Shamika. Is that over the years, when I used to get up like 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work and stuff, and knowing you're taking like 4 or 5 hours sleep. As I got older, so sometimes I thought it's stress, sometimes I thought it's like when we talking about emotional aspect of life. But no, what I realize is my body acclimatized to sleeping now. So I will basically get like 4 hours sleep. And when I get up, I feel strong. You know, Shamika, if I sleep more than 4, 5, 6 hours, I feel tired when I get up.
Sometimes that
Yeah.
happens to me.
So I normally will get like
So
4.5
everybody
hours.
is
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
But what about like
everybody is really different. Some of us don't need all that sleep. Some may actually say they actually need that 8 or 6 to 8 hours sleep, right? But if it is you recognize a drastic change in your sleeping pattern, then you know something is wrong, right? It's when you see that change. So let us say you're accustomed sleeping the 4 hours and then all of a sudden you want to sleep all day. You can't keep your eyes open. That's when you know something is wrong.
But could it be part of a working environment, like when you work at certain hours?
Yes, well,
Yeah,
yes. Well,
yeah.
I mean, if it is you know that your working environment change, you may need to get up earlier to leave for work. That is different. But when it comes to you going to bed and when you get in bed, you have problems even falling asleep. And let us say when you normally go in your bed, you can like fall asleep in within 5-10 minutes, and then you realize you're taking a whole hour just to get into sleep, then you know, okay, something is wrong. You actually have that change,
Yeah.
right? And as we said, sometimes changes. So changes may be a change of simply where your location of your work.
Yeah, true.
Changes may be someone in your family became ill, or you became ill, right? A change could be that it have more mosquitoes. So if it is mosquitoes singing in it, right?
No, don't doubt
And
that. That's true. That is true.
So now it's
But
rainy
what-
season, and you know it have
So
a
we
lot of
getting them-
mosquitoes, right?
yes, we getting them
sometimes,
soprano
you know, the little
mosquitoes.
changes. And if it is weird, that's why it is important to be aware, people. Remember, awareness is something very, very important. Eh?
Yeah.
Yes, so we'll
But what
go to
about
a break
Shami?
Sure.
and we'll
Okay,
come
when
back.
we come back then.
Yeah?
Yes, so you're locked
Yeah.
on to Radio Irie. We're talking the effects of COVID-19 on the family. And you're listening to Shamika James, our social worker here at Radio Irie. She's talking about emotional and wellness. During this COVID time, very interesting. I'm just sitting and listening and making my say, having my say. Because we ought to learn, all right? So during this time, it's affecting a lot of us in the family. So yeah. So have your say, people.
Go down, young down.
We're going to be right back.
She got that tight grip that won't let me go. And got secrets she won't let me know. Every time she moves is a different flavor, is a different kind of flow. And all she wants is only one song. No need for love, no kisses and no scars. She knows the game. Like a wire in your waistline. A feeling, a desire in your waistline. I love it when you walk it in my
Yes. So,
Shamika, I had a little
we are back at
question.
it again. Emotional wellness, people. Right? So, we were just speaking about the changes. I know that Verena, she wanted to add something there just now.
Yeah, so it's about emotional
So,
wellness, eh?
Verena, go ahead.
Like, for instance, you know how we ladies, I don't know if it's happened to the men, but I could talk from my perspective. If something have you upset or feeling uncomfortable, on a regular day you could rest. But because you're upset or you're uncomfortable, you're cleaning the whole house, you're dragging on the curtain, you're cleaning the window, you're gonna scrub the bathroom, you're doing all kind of house chores and making probably issues out of it rather than dealing with the actual problem. Is that a sign of emotionally unwell behavior?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. So, people, we are speaking about emotional wellness. Yeah. So, we wanna get back into the changes that we will experience in life, right? And when it is we have changes in life, we need to be able to deal with it. Sometimes the change may come sudden, and sometimes it may take a while. We may be aware and we know that changes can happen. But when a change comes, we must be able to deal emotionally well, especially something that affects you. It have positive change and there's negative change, right? And if it is we don't when the negative change come and we don't know how to deal with it, we're gonna be stressed out, we're going to be frustrated. You may even get angry because they don't know how to cope. And it is very, very much important that we be able to manage. We are able to relax under the pressure, right? So when it is you're under pressure, it is hard to be in control at times. And we just need to just pause for a moment and relax.
What about when it comes to the aspect of children? Because we're talking and children are part of all of this also. When it comes to children and the fact of we dealt with or we could identify certain traits in them. But when it comes to children, what would you say to parents when it comes to the wellness aspect of it and the emotional aspect?
I will always say to parents, pay attention to your child. If it is you are not paying attention, at no point in time you wouldn't even know when it is your child is emotionally unwell. You wouldn't know when it is they are stressed out. You wouldn't know when it is they are sad. You may not even know that they are going through some type of change in their life.
Yeah, correct.
Right? So being in good contact and having good communication with your child is very, very important. So if it is you are not communicating with your child, you will never recognize the signs. So I will always say have good communication with your child.
Right.
And besides having that good communication, once it is you recognize a change, you're supposed to be able to address it, get to understand it, and accept. Right? Acceptance is another thing that, is very hard to come by. So as I said, sometimes it changes either death in the family. So like during this time, you know that it would have had persons who had family members who would have died due to COVID-19. Persons, their family were out of the country and they were expecting them back at a certain time. That too affects the family, it affects the children. So let's say the children, their parents just went on a vacation and they were expecting them back last year, August, but they're still outside there and were unable to come back because they didn't get an exemption.
Right.
That could affect the child, right? And those who are, taking care of them, the caretaker at that moment, they too must have good communication with that child to recognize, they are really being affected by this. And now we have all the social media, we have WhatsApp, Facebook, we need to really utilize these things in a positive way to stay connected.
Right.
Right?
So
that,
the emotional
that
part.
would be their way of staying connected to their child if it is they are away from them.
So, for instance, during this period now that children are home, and I know you guys start to do something for them. Now that school has closed, what would you say to parents now to keep them occupied, more so until school open back in September?
What it is, I will say, because we are unable to go out, there are some places that are open. Now, each family situation is different, right? The dynamics are different. Explore, see what can work for your family, because everybody's budget will be different, because some persons are not receiving a salary. They are depending on governmental assistance. Some people are depending on other family members, hoping to get something. So it's all based upon your situation. What it is you always want to do is try to be creative, be innovative, and do things that are fun. Ask the child, have that conversation with your child or children to know what activities they would like to do while it is they are at home. Rather than you say, well, we're going to do this. Today is this. We're going to work on, and people, the July, August vacation is not to continue to pound work, schoolwork, academics down into your child's system.
Yes, I agree.
The CEO is asking a question. The CEO is asking a question on the Radio IRP live. She wants to know, what is the importance of emotional wellness?
All right. So emotional wellness is important for resilience to stress. It is important to have a higher self-esteem. It is also important where it helps with your energy. You have more energy when it is you are emotionally well, and you'll be able to have deeper relationships. So you have better connections with those, whether it's your partner, your children, some family member, even your workmate, right? Deeper relationships. So those are the 4 things that is important.
Right.
When it comes to emotional wellness.
Nice one. When let's look at
remember that being emotionally well means that you are aware, you are understanding, and you are also accepting.
Right.
And then it also means being able to deal and manage changes in life and life challenges as well.
What about the elderly folks? How do you handle all of this also during this period of time?
So we know it have some elderly, they are very much independent, and they have their little groups. It have some of them, they have their little groups, something going, so they are doing pretty well. But what it is, I will say though, is for the elderly who have Alzheimer's and dementia, their caretakers have a hard time because they have nowhere to go to de-stress. So let us say they were able to go out, they get somebody to look after them for a little while, and they can go out and de-stress. There isn't that option right now.
Right.
As a family,
as
a family unit, as a community, and that is where it is we need to be able to, staying connected will continue to be something that is very important during this time. So we are going to go to a break, and when we come back, we will speak about how to improve our emotional wellness.
Nice one. So you're locked on to the effects of COVID-19 on the family, the blueprint, with Shamika James, our social worker here at Radio IRI, and today's topic is emotional wellness. We will be right back. Hey, folks, all of you guys outside in listening land. This is me, Mike the Man, and we want to bring some interesting news for you. We want to welcome an addition to Radio IRI. Her name is Shamika James, our social worker, who is going to be on board with Radio IRI. We are going to be starting a new series soon. It's called The Effects of COVID on the Family. The Blueprint. So look out for that. This is me, Mike the Man, saying, welcome, Shamika Jamesy. So we are back with Shamika James. Shamika, we back. We on you, we back.
Yes. So yes, we are going to now speak about how it is we can improve our emotional wellness. Now, for everybody on the live, it's all about emotional wellness today.
First I bounce to the bass from the speaker, then I bust a belly dance like Shakira, then I turn around and get them hypnotized. When I dip and ride, dip and ride, dip and ride, dip and make him wanna slip and slide, slip and slide, slip and slide, slip and the way I dip and ride, dip and ride, dip and ride, dip and swing my hips to the side.
So yes, as I said, you're listening to Shamika James, the effects of COVID-19 on the family, the Blueprint. Yeah? And she's discussing, yes, and she's discussing emotional wellness. Yes, Shamika, take it away.
Yes, so we are going to now speak about how to improve our emotional wellness. And one thing we need to do is practice what they call emotional regulation. It means managing and controlling. So when it is we are going through stress, what are some of the things that we can do when it is, we are feeling stressful, when it is we are feeling worried, right? And some things that we can do is meditate. Some people, they are into yoga. Some persons may listen to music, and when it is you listen to music, it makes you feel more relaxed, right? Because they want to be able to relax. They want to practice relaxation technique. And relaxation can come is what works the best for you. So some persons may listen to, we know that there are different genres of music, and that type of music, it have music like me, I like to listen to soca and some dancehall, and I start to feel all hype and thing in a real nice mood. Verena,
Yeah.
so listening to music is one of the main things you might hear people say that they do.
Yes.
What type of music do you listen to make you feel real good?
Well, I like R&B, to be honest. That's my first go-to, right? If R&B don't work, I go to conscious, right? I like my conscious and my reggae. And when I am emotionally well and high spirited, I like to listen to soca. So that's when you will see me more listening to soca when I'm feeling good and high. But other than that, I gravitate towards R&B and conscious and reggae when I need to build up myself. Yeah.
Right. So some people, they build up themselves by listening to certain types of music. So we have emotional wellness is important to life. So we have Trinity on the live and saying, reiterating that emotional wellness is important to life, and that's true. If we are not emotionally well, it's going to affect our physical well-being as well. That's why I say both of them are very important, physical and emotional. And here's what.
You're correct.
It has some physical things that we can do that will help with our emotional wellness.
Yeah.
So plug in. Tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., we're going to make sure that we are emotionally well.
Yes.
So Trini Nikki, she listens to classical music.
Yeah. I listen to love songs.
Sometimes I just play the sound of the
All
beach.
right, Mike.
You know,
So,
there are
Mike, we
those
know you're listening
meditating
to love
songs.
songs all week long.
Exactly.
Whole week. Right, so we see that but Trini Nikki is saying classical music is good for the kid.
Yeah.
And violin music helps her
Yeah.
on morning.
Yeah, she's
it
correct.
soothes the mind.
She's correct. Jazz. Sometimes I listen to jazz music too. Jazz is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, jazz is good.
Yeah.
So good afternoon to you. Good evening, Trini Nikki.
So at some point, Trini Nikki is also a social worker.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, lovely.
Yes.
Is
So
she
she will be
Trinidadian?
joining
Is
us.
she Trinidadian or foreign?
Yes, she is Trinidad. She's very much Trinidadian from the Southland.
All right, good. South people in the house. Woo, woo, woo.
Yes, real South people on the inside.
Yes.
And Candy Barbara, what type of music do you listen to? Because we know that you're on the line. Candy Barbara, what music you listen to have you upbeat and feeling yourself? Yeah? So
Chutney.
music is important. So I was talking about the physical activity, exercise.
Yeah, totally
Whether
agree.
it's Zumba, aerobics, walking, jogging, some people like to go cycling,
Yeah.
some like to swim,
Yeah.
right? It has so many things that you can do, eh? There's always
Yeah.
it has many options.
Yeah, but what about
you can't run out of anything.
what about balancing books?
Balancing books.
Yeah, that's
don't know
something you do
about that.
like 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Balancing
Balancing
books, Mike.
That is balancing
you're
books
talking about an accountant?
radio friendly means 2-3 o'clock in the morning you're balancing books. That could ease the stress.
Well, I never heard of that one before.
Yeah, balancing books between the hours of
Balancing
2
books.
and 4 o'clock. That is where children born. So that eases it. That eases the stress at time. My doctors tell me that. That could ease the stress a
Okay.
little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Balancing books.
Shamika
All
never
right.
hear that one. She never hear that one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I
I will tell you
understand,
off here.
Balancing
When
books
you
is
tell
a stress
me
reliever.
about balancing books,
I'll tell you off
I
here.
have only two things that come to my mind. One, you have a book here, you have a book here, and you have a book on the head, and a balance in the book. Or we talking money here.
Accounting,
And
yeah.
balancing money, there's not full fun. Right? So we are going to a break, and we will be right back.
Yes, people. I want to say good afternoon to everybody. We have some people locked on to the Mixcloud. We want to say good evening to you. And thanks for locking on. Right? Trini Nikki said she's full Trini. Listen to the effects of COVID-19 on the family. The Blueprint with Shamika James. All right? And her discussion this evening is emotional stress. Emotional wellness, where we just talking about stress. And locked on with us is Verena. I think Jizan was here. So we're going to be right back. Let's drop some music now.
You got me going crazy. Yeah.
So it's 6:34 p.m. right here in TNT, all right?
In front of me, must have
That's basically 6, that's what, 6, 7, 8, that's like 11:34 in the UK.
not come up from
Hey.
and all your body nice and close, and make sure everybody knows. Don't wait. You got, you wanna
Yeah, so all those locked on the outside of the Mix Club, once a good afternoon to you, all right? So let's get back to Shamika James. Shamika, you're back on.
Yes. So we are speaking now about how it is we can improve our emotional wellness. So everybody who wants to have a nice time and exercise and have fun, we're going to have a free session live on Facebook tomorrow at 7 a.m. where it is you can free up yourself, get a nice workout. Yes, all are welcome. Yes. When we go live, click on the live, have on your clothes, comfortable, find
Yeah.
a spot in his space, and have a nice time. Yes?
A real nice time. Nice
Sabrina
music
is
to
ready
people.
and waiting for in the morning.
How you mean my clothes done
Bright
set?
and early.
Yeah, Shamika, I was saying I feel good since after I started all the exercising and thing. All my body stopped hurting me. I think I put on a little bit of weight. I started to feel stronger. When the wife called me to lift up the pot of water on the stove, I find I lifting it up much easier now. Yeah. And the tummy, if you look at the tummy, watch the tummy good. You see the tummy flat, the tummy gone down. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike.
No, but to be honest, since I started doing that stress-free exercise on mornings, I will say stress-free. It eases the little tension. I would relax right after that.
Yes. Mike,
Yeah,
you have a point
I relax
there.
right after that. I take a nice
You
shower.
are hearing the testimony of Burn Teams Aerobics Online, just one day for
And-
this, right?
and Shamika, just
next
make sure you
thing
sweat.
is practicing mindfulness. You know, Verena, women like to multitask.
Yeah.
Men like to do all kind of things. Men is
Right.
multitask, you know.
We
Men is
cooking and we
multitask.
washing and hanging up clothes
Well,
same
nice to know
time.
you just be multitasking, but we want to be able to be mindful of what it is we are doing. Focus on one thing at a time. So we go into the comment section.
Trini Nikki, I feel it.
It will be nice to know how men deal with emotions during COVID time, because
Yes.
she's saying a known guy in her area that she lived died from suicide.
Wow.
I think Trini
No one
Nikki
can
talking
say the
about
reason.
the same
Whoa.
person I was going to mention
Whoa.
tonight.
Wow.
Yes, because he's a friend of my husband, and they play football, and nobody knows why they committed suicide. He's a happy, strong personality guy, very nice guy, outgoing, always cheerful, and he committed suicide. And nobody believed that he was even
Yeah.
capable of doing that.
Wow.
All right, so sometimes okay, so before I go to talking about that, we have Trini Nikki saying I live mindfulness walking, and what she's saying, the man was good looking. Right now, what will happen is sometimes, and that's why we need to be aware, we need to understand, and we need to accept the
Yeah.
emotions that we are going through. And
Yeah.
you see that support system is very important. And maybe that guy, he really always tried his best to put a smile on his face, to make sure, he sometimes is a person that's making everybody laugh all the time. And then they commit suicide and you don't know why. And sometimes they are the ones who, it's their problems, other
Yep.
person's problems that they
Yep.
are taking on. And
Yeah.
nobody recognizing that this person needs somebody to talk to. And he
Yeah, but
maybe
that-
didn't feel comfortable. Yes, it is he's wrong and
Speaking.
interacting.
Mhm.
But he didn't feel comfortable, or he didn't accept, because sometimes we need help and we don't reach out for the help.
Yeah.
True.
And what
But
I
another
want people
thing,
to always remember, I will say this on every live, it is okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
It is okay. It is really okay. Don't feel bad about it. It's okay. It's if you don't feel comfortable going to a family member or a friend who you know all the time, there are professionals out there. For us right now, if it is you're listening, you can feel free to message us on our page. Let us know if it is you need someone to talk to, because we are here. I am here to listen to you. And sometimes that's all that you need. Somebody to just sit down. They don't need to say anything. Right? Sometimes all somebody needs to do is somebody to just listen to them. And that's it.
But
They're
could,
asking for no solution or anything like that, They already have the solution, It's
Could I
just that
ask-
they need to just put it out there.
could I ask Trini Nikki a question?
Yes, you can.
Trini Nikki, the guy that committed suicide, do you know if he tried to reach out to anybody at all? You can type and let us know. Because, funny thing, Shamika, even going through this whole period of the COVID while I was in the UK, one of the things I did, I used to meditate a lot. I meditate a lot. Work, home, meditation. And talking is my thing. So if something hamburging me, I would go and say something. But how many men talk when they're having issues? How many?
Exactly. So as we see that
Not
Trinity
much.
said here in the comment section that men deal with emotions differently,
Yep.
right? And
Yep.
also each individual deals with emotions differently.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You ever hear a man tell a woman, "How you moving like a man so?" Or a woman tell her, "How you moving like a woman so?"
Yeah.
So everyone
That's true.
they do deal with emotions
Yeah.
differently. Some people like to handle whatever it is they are going through. They want to see how best it
Yeah.
is they can handle the situation, and they may never ask for help.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
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 The guy, the
Okay, so
guy
Trinity
who
is actually saying that the same morning he would have sent a message in the football group. So Verena knows
Like
the guy.
normal.
So Verena, you
Yeah.
can maybe chip in here as well.
Well, my husband is his friend. They went to school together. And he spoke to him just the week before, and he had no indication that anything was going on.
Right.
And the last thing he told him was, I'm looking to meet you back out on the field, We're going back to play football and things just now. Because that's what, to me, men probably don't talk about their emotions as much, but
Men
they
don't
use
talk at
other
all.
outlets. They use
Yeah.
other outlets to express themselves or to take off that negative energy. So football is one thing, basketball, they like sports and things like that. Right, so that was one of his outlets. The guy, he would play football, and that was taken away.
Yeah.
So we don't know if it's that being separated from
Yeah, and,
everybody.
and,
caused.
and most times,
That isn't there anymore.
when
Yeah.
people want to commit suicide, they don't tell you they're gonna commit suicide.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they don't tell
won't.
you. Yeah.
Right? It may have some signs, and you may not even know. Sometimes the person they
You
may
would
become a
notice.
bit more withdrawn.
Yeah.
So sometimes you might say, no, but he was normal. Sometimes it's the littlest thing
Mm-hmm.
that you have to look for. The littlest
Yeah.
thing to be a sign, right?
Mhm.
And that is like real observance and awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And another thing we need to do is get quality sleep. As we said, each and every person, they may need a different amount of sleep as others, right? But that deep sleep that they say, everybody needs that deep sleep, and that deep sleep may last maybe 2 hours. But once it is you get quality, you see, remember I told you all about the power nap. Sometimes
Yeah.
when your body real tired, it's real tired, and you will just go. You have
Yeah.
no control over it, right? But quality sleep is very, very important, because if it is you don't have quality sleep, you might get up groggy, or might say if you have too much sleep, you will feel tired, right? So whatever our amount of sleep supposed to be, let us get what it is
Yeah.
we need.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and yes, Trini Nikki is saying sometimes they don't want people to know because they feel ashamed,
Yeah.
and they feel that they are going to be judged.
That's
and
correct.
That is very true.
That is so true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
So,
That
so
is a
true.
big
very,
issue
very
we
true,
have.
and she's agreeing with sleep is
Yeah.
a factor,
That's so true.
right? So when persons feel ashamed, so remember we talk about that self-esteem,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
right? They need to feel confident. Sometimes when it is maybe around people who are always judging, some people say, I don't judge nobody. I understand it. Sometimes that's not true. When it
Yeah.
is you recognize a person's behavior, when it is they hear about other situations, and they may judge a person for what it is they did and how they deal with something in life, right? Or they always start talking somebody. People wouldn't feel if it is they decide to, those same people, they will be definitely afraid that they are going to be judged for just feeling the way that they are feeling. If it is
Yeah.
somebody you think, Yeah, I feeling real stressed out. I feel really stressed out about. You are nothing to stress out for. You know, some people say these things and then they
That's
feel uncomfortable. They don't
usually,
want that
yeah,
reaction. They want that if it
true.
is they go to someone and they say, no, I really feeling stressed out. So is the situation. They want a listening ear. And then
Exactly.
sometimes it's just that is all the one that they think are just thinking about how to deal with this to know. And if it is they want to ask you how to deal with it, then they answer.
So
But if
what
it
up?
is when it is you realize anybody come
Yeah,
to you and you say, nah, you have nothing to worry
yeah,
about and these
yeah.
things and they really going through, they won't come to you.
So
That goes
Yeah.
So what would you say, Shamika? What would you say to
to children
couples? What would you say
as
to
well,
couples? What would you say to
right?
couples,
So a
Shamika?
lot of things we kind of isolate. Yeah, what I might, as a matter of fact, I would maybe like to separate children, adults, and how it is, we dealing with it differently.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to the comment section before I made a statement. Yes, Trini Nikki is saying we still tell boys it is not okay to cry or express emotion, and that is true, right?
Yes.
So just yesterday when we were live on, Friday, we're talking about parenting and all of that, and
Yeah.
the way that we grew up, the boys and
Thank
the
you.
girls.
Exactly.
Parents still do the society still teach boys that it is
Taboo.
not okay to cry,
Yeah.
boys not supposed to cry, and you're not supposed to show
Yeah.
emotion.
Yes, people, you're locked on to the effects of COVID-19 on the family and the blueprint every Saturday from 5:30 with Shamika James, our social worker, and today we're talking emotional wellness. We're going to be right back, all right?
It's me, Charlene, and I'm here at Central Park Zoo, and you're watching Burn Team TV.
We are back. Shamika, you're back inside.
Yes, yes.
Hey, folks, all of you guys in outside in listening land. This is me, Mike the Man, and we want to bring some interesting news for you. We want to welcome an addition to Radio Irie. Her name is Shamika James, our social worker, who is going to be on board with Radio Irie. We are going to be starting a new series soon. It's called The Effects of COVID on the Family, the Blueprint. So look out for that. This is me, Mike the Man, saying, welcome, Shamika Jamesy. Yep.
And we are talking about emotional wellness and how it is we can improve our emotional wellness. So, before we continue and wrap up, we would just like to thank everyone for locking on, contributing to the discussion, and sharing your experiences. Tristan was here with us earlier, and being pregnant during a pandemic was not easy, right? And having to, you see, this pandemic caused a change for each and every one of us, right? And that change would have brought about some type of stress in some person's life. And if it is we didn't know how to deal with it, and if it is we still don't know, right, it will affect our emotional health. Yeah. So what it is, we're gonna do now. So let us just recap, right? So what emotional wellness means that you'll be able to be aware of how it is you're feeling, understand why it is you are feeling the way that you are feeling and accepting it. And when it is you accept it, you want to be able to manage it effectively. Don't let your emotions take control of you, but you take control of your emotions, right? So what I want to say is, in order to be emotionally well, there are some things that we can do. It doesn't matter if it is you have a lot of money or if you have little money. We can engage in listening to music, meditating, exercising, being more mindful of it is the activities that you're doing. Focus on one thing at a time. Practice time management. Time management is very, very important. And you want to be able to get quality sleep. And what it is we know as a society, being connected is very important. Stay connected. Be connected. Check in with whether it's a family, a relative, a friend, and whether near or far. Just make sure that you stay connected. Yes, Sabrina, what will be your closing words to our listeners this evening?
I would say to train your children, to encourage them to have emotional support, to share their emotions with you, nurture their emotions, so that when they become adults, they will be better able and capable of handling their emotions. It really starts from you when you are small. I agree with Trini Nikki in one of her comments, if you wanted our men to be more emotionally intact, we have to teach them from small. Right? So let's work on bringing about that change from now so the future generations will be more emotionally well.
Well said.
Yeah, so I will go to the comment section and read Trinity's comment. What I would suggest is develop the family and your children's emotional intelligence. It's the best skill you can give them for the future. Right? Mike, you want to say anything? Any closing remark?
Yeah, my granddaughter just come in and said, just watching it. She bounced the camera. Watch the camera. Not really, but what I would say is I want to just get back to the aspect of the men, because little disturbed about the fact that this gentleman committed suicide. I don't know if he was married, if he had a family. Did he have a family, Verena? And
no,
at the end of the day,
he didn't have a
what
family.
the support system was like, what was happening during his tenure when he was alive. Was it something that disturbed him? What was the reason? We have to look at the fact that what was the reason, my grandson in the studio. We had to look at the fact that what was the reason of him doing that, because most of the time there's a reason. So we had to look at these things. And,
a trigger.
And when it comes to men, I find he should have looked for me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the thing is, we have to ask questions. Sometimes when people commit suicide, both male or female, Shamika, sometimes we have to ask questions. The reason. I mean, I've been through a lot, Shamika. And once in my lifetime, I probably thought about suicide. And that was when I was a single dad. But then when I sat and I realized, hey, there's more to life than taking your own life. Because when you take your own life, that means you leaving your children behind. So some men strong, some women are strong. Most of the time you find men will commit suicide. I don't know if you want to agree with me and Trini.
Yeah,
because of the fact they don't talk. They don't talk. Yeah. So
and what on the other, besides not talking, right? What will happen is that men, when it is they make up their mind to do such, they go to so whatever method they use, it is more successful in carrying out the suicide. A woman, they may cut their hand, they might drink a little something.
Correct.
That people will catch them in time that they can't take them to the hospital.
Correct.
Now, what I will say though, for persons who are alive and you see that you see a change in their behavior, what you want to do is reach out to them. Right now, I know that this guy, he may not have reached out to anyone. No one may have seen his sign.
Correct.
And it is really, really unfortunate that this turned out to be the situation. This was the outcome. But what we want to do now, actually, though, is to his family and to his friends, we want you all to keep strong.
Yeah.
And if it is, you know that you are going through a situation, you know, if it's one person that you can trust, reach out to them. If it is you feel a little, you know, what is the word? You feel uncomfortable sharing with the persons that you know personally. There are other professionals that you can go to.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
So that's what I want to say. So for those who family of persons who would have committed suicide, know that we may not know what the reason was, right? But we need to be able to help others then and make sure that, you know, others feel comfortable enough to reach out. Yeah. All right. So we have Trinity saying nobody will know, not his family and friends. He left no letter, no closure.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
It's only him who knows his true feeling. Right? And well, I had to read backwards because I realized she said some other things before.
She's saying
that he was better off dead, which is true. Some people feel that way. Yeah. And then he's saying maybe next series you'll do is a man series.
Wow, that would be interesting.
Yes, because we know that you know these things happen. So we're gonna go to a little break, play some music, lighten it up, and we're gonna close off.
Yeah, I'll, there's a song I want to close off with after when we play the lighten up music, just to send to some of those people who might be going through a period now in their life. So we'll play that before we close. All right?
Girl, you're always on my mind. Don't ever feel like I reject you. Baby, I respect you, and I appreciate your time, but I can't do the things I want.
So we are back. We are back before we close off. Yes, Shamika?
Yes. So, closing remarks, I want to just say thank you, everyone, for locking on and tuning in, sharing your experiences, you know, even sharing in terms of, you know, how it is we can improve our emotional wellness. Yep. And I want to say, if it is you need help, please ask for it. Sometimes I know it will be a bit uncomfortable. You may be afraid of, you know, even victimization. You may be afraid of, you know, being judged. But know that we are here at Burn Team. I am here, so you can feel free, if it is you need to reach out to someone, you can feel free to reach us at our Facebook page, and we will, you know, be in contact with you. And we want you to know that once you have life, where there's life, there's hope, right? We know that it's hard. Sometimes you may feel like you wouldn't want to go on, but just knowing that you have life itself is a reason to live, right? So I just want to wish everyone a safe and enjoyable week ahead. Tune in tomorrow, 7 a.m. We're going to be working it out, having some fun, de-stressing. It's all about smile, sweat, and shine on the Sweaty Sunday. So see you tomorrow, guys.
So yeah,
take care.
Nice one. So I want to go out to the song here that dedicated to each and everybody. We're going to play this song, and guys, have a good one, right? Have a good one. Yeah? Or have a good one.
If you've got a minute, maybe there's something that I can say or do. See, I realize that life has its changes, and sometimes things just don't go right. And here's one thing I want you to think about as you lie in your bed tonight. When the whole world seems against you, and your whole life seems unborn, and all you ever wanted was a little peace, I can understand just how you feel. But a little bit of peace of mind nowadays is so hard to find. You can't even find it in your sleep. Here's some advice that I think you should keep and face.